My name is Erin Green, and I'm the Dream Team Coordinator here at New Life Church on staff, and I also lead worship on the worship team and run sound on the production team. I would say my favorite thing about New Life is the people. We always say that church isn't just about a Sunday morning, it's about a Monday through Saturday, and I've found my people to do Monday through Saturday with through New Life, and that's just been incredible. I also love how they trust and equip young leaders. I was 16 years old when I started coming to the church, and I got thrown right in, and not thrown, I was helped, but I was placed in, and I was trusted, and my pastors trusted me. And you look at our teams now, and there's like our youth kids serving on the production team and just living out the gifts that God has given them at such an early age. I would say one of the most impactful things that has happened to me since coming to New Life would be deciding to personally know Jesus and having a relationship with him myself, but also seeing my family decide that. I remember there was one Easter service that I saw my dad raise his hand, and I broke down just because, you know, your dad's your spiritual leader. Like he had always been mine. I've always looked up to him, and they followed me to New Life. And so for me to bring them to New Life and then see him like join in that relationship with Jesus after a few rough years for him with his dad passing, that was huge.
My name is Heeter, and I'm a member of the worship team and a trustee at New Life Church. I was on the launch team at New Life Church initially, sort of helping out in any way that I could, just to help it sort of get going and organized, or whether it was on the trailer team or putting out connection cards or whatever it was. At that point, I just kind of did whatever was needed. Basically, every single Wednesday for almost 2 years, I would go to worship rehearsals, and I would sit next to the person playing guitar and watch what they were doing and ask them questions until I kind of sort of figured it out. How I worship, my relationship with the Lord has all been impacted positively, and all the people, like I said, they're like my best friends now. So it's just, the community has been amazing, and I love it.
I would say in the season of Greater, I am so excited. I'm a college student at Western, and so many of my friends have asked me, like, where do you go to church? I want to come. Like, I need a church home here that's not in my hometown so that I can still be attending. And they have asked me, and I've said Mattawan, and that's a really far commute for kids on campus. So they've been kind of turned away by the distance, and I'm so excited to be closer to campus so that we can reach that generation, because I think we need it right now. I'm also very excited because we're gonna have a coffee shop. So our hospitality team is getting a huge upgrade, but Pastor Dan was a barista at Starbucks, a manager of a Starbucks, and so he promised he would teach me how to make coffee. So I'm very excited for that.
The thing that I'm most excited for about Greater is that we kind of get a front row seat to see God's plan unfold. And so it's going to be amazing to get to know new people, get to connect with new people, and just sort of grow the community that makes up New Life. I just think that the more people that get involved, the more impactful it can be. I think Greater, I think the reason they labeled that, and I could be wrong, but I just think that it's a measure of the impact that Dan and the rest of the congregation see this move, and sort of the impact that's going to happen is going to be greater than our current location. We're just going to be able to reach more people, and that's the whole point of the church, is to save lost people. And like Dan always says, we want to rob from hell and give to heaven.
If I'm being honest, at first, it was very nerve-wracking when asked to commit to Greater, because the numbers look huge for the campaign, especially to a college student. And so a few conversations later with Pastor Dan, he was talking about how it's not about how much you give, it's about the heart behind it. Yeah, I would say a big way to help is being obedient to what God tells you. And so I've spent so much time in prayer with him about what I'm supposed to do, what I'm supposed to give. And, it might not be a lot, but maybe it's sacrificing one Starbucks drink a week, or, just little things. And to me, it's not really even a sacrifice, because it's for something that I'm super excited and passionate for.
I've decided to commit to Greater because I believe that God gives us certain opportunities and certain tests to sort of as a faith check, to put your faith in God, that his hand is on is on our church and he's truly leading it, that kind of makes me get behind any type of movement where New Life goes. As long as I feel like God's hand is on it, I'm gonna be in support and do everything I can to make it happen the right way. I'm extremely proud to be a part of a church that has such an impact on the community, that is so generous with their funding. On top of buying a new building, they're still being generous with their money. They're still making an impact in the community. And for me, that makes it a lot easier for me to write that tithe check and watch it go, and then just sit back and watch what happens. It's great. It's kind of one of those things where you don't want to be taken advantage of, so you kind of hold tight to what you have, type of thing. When you sort of see an opportunity to let something that you own or that you control, when you see an opportunity to let that go to somebody else and it impacts them, but you see the impact that it has on them is far greater than when you had it yourself.